I want to jump in, get into some actual hockey talk, and then we'll finish with some fun stuff.
I'm not getting paid enough to get solved problems for the team.
Well, too bad, buddy. Too bad. We're going to have to negotiate that deal. I don't know, because there's some problems we need to solve. What do you do with Erik Karlsson this offseason? What can you do with Erik Karlsson this offseason?
I don't think you can do anything.
Okay.
You know, I feel like his price tag's obviously big, you know, and I don't think
prohibitive.
I think that's gonna handcuff you to get rid of him unless you want to keep a lot of money yourself, you know, unless you're gonna swallow.
You're gonna have to eat some, yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to swallow some, and you know, then when you talk about another guy like Graves, you know, like what do you do with him? You know, like you can only make so many moves, and when Kyle Dubas talked about after the trade deadline, he's like, we're done trading. You know, we're going to start building now, you know, and that means he couldn't get rid of some guys, you know, and now he's got to deal with what he has. But Karlsson, he's not going nowhere.
You're depressing me with that one.
But
all right.
You just have to get him to rein it in a little bit. Like, understand, like, hey, you're not the same player you were 5 years ago. Like, Just play. I
don't know
simple.
if it's in his DNA, TK.
No,
I understand what you're saying. You're 100%. Absolutely right. I just don't know, but it's happening.
But that's the only way the team's going to be successful, because if you have everyone on their own page, or even a couple guys, like that's a recipe for disaster of giving up goals, and like that's where guys like have to sit them down and be like, dude, we don't want you to be that guy that used to skate all over the ice and go for a 2-on-1 when you're a defense. You know, you need to play defense. Let us try to get in the playoffs. Like, your legacy will be more important when you go and make a playoff run than a guy that just puts up numbers. You know, again, when you look at guys' career.
You've done that. You've put up numbers. You've won awards.
I know.
Do the team thing.
It's like Ovechkin, right? Like, he didn't get respect until he literally won the Stanley Cup. Then it was like, okay, you know, because you got to win. I think winning helps your resume a ton. You know, if you go through a career and you don't win, it's not as meaningful unless you win a cup. And, you know, Sid having 3, Ovi having 1, but he still got 1. You know, like, you need to win. You need to show that you know how to buy into a team and produce and to do whatever it takes for the team to win.
Tristan Jarry. My own opinion, I think he might have helped his trade value.
Yep.
The way he's bounced back, and I don't think it is in the Penguins' best interest to keep him here. I would like to see them give some opportunity, give some runway to some of the young guys they have in the A. I think Murashov might be pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Blomqvist, Larson, I don't know. What would you do? What can you do with Jarry?
Well, first off, like, after him being called up from the AHL, he's come back and he's played a lot different than I've ever seen him play. And
yes.
And the swagger, the little bit of like, hey, I'm a good goalie. And the second part of that is his ability to like turn the page and not let one goal turn into like 5, you know, and that's the biggest difference. And when I think of him, it was never his physical ability. Like, he's got NHL starting physically ability, and he's been to all-star games. He's been to all that. It was between his ears, and that's the biggest thing I've seen change in Tristan Jarry, which is a huge positive, which is huge. But when we talk about these games they don't mean anything. So I want to see him in a pressure-filled game. I think he probably wants a new start. He probably wants a new start because, like, you're starting fresh. You know, you can do it you can make any persona you want going to a new team. You know, that's why sometimes, like, when you leave a team, a guy comes in and becomes a third liner, becomes a first liner and a goal scorer because he had an opportunity to change the way he plays or even the way he thinks of himself. So I think it's going to be hard to get rid of him because I think this is how, like, a lot of GMs think too. But I wouldn't be opposed to keeping him either. I think I want to see, I'm a guy that gives guys second. I want to see if he can continue this, turning the page on bad goals, bring in that swagger. But then what do you do with the young guys? What do you do with Ned? Like, Murashov, like, I think from what I'm hearing, like, he's every bit of the maturity, the being able to, like, battle and stop not every goal, but the goals that make you win games